Fantastic fresh fragrances that are absolutely perfect on a super warm day or when you're in a tropical place like I am. So on super warm days, I usually crave a fresh sort of a vibe from my fragrances, and that's the reason why I usually reach for freshies. But that doesn't mean that you can only wear freshies in sort of a tropical or super warm weather. You can actually wear fragrances with a bit of depth to them as well. But usually I crave something super fresh on a really warm day, and I got some fantastic freshies for you. So if you're a subscriber, then you probably know that I will most likely bring something from Gaultier with me. I absolutely love their tropical Beau line, and the one I chose after going back and forth between the OG Beau and Beau Paradise Garden was Paradise Garden. So Paradise Garden to me is basically the freshest of them all, and that's the reason why I brought this. However, I also brought this mini bottle of the OG Beau, and when I used this the other night, I almost regretted bringing the full bottle of Paradise Garden, but they are both fantastic freshness. So basically, Paradise Garden has something super fresh, super aquatic fresh to it. It's definitely a bit green, sort of a green freshness to it, and it has that main thing that I'm absolutely 100% addicted to, the coconut water. So this is basically a mix of sort of marine freshness, green freshness, coconut water. You get a really nice additional dose of freshness thanks to mint. The mint really makes a big difference to its freshness, and it's also got a bit of fresh ginger to it. So that's sort of a nuanced freshness together with the coconut sits on top of a really nice super smooth dose of sandalwood. So this has a bit of woodiness that sort of in a way balances up its freshness together with a bit of sweet tonka. So basically Beau Paradise Garden keeps that fantastic sweet vanilla and coconut combo of the OG. However, I do feel that the OG has a bigger dose of both vanilla and sweetness. This thing is the one I reach for when I want that Beau coconutty, sweet, fresh DNA, but in a more intensely fresh way. The OG, and the reason why I almost regretted bringing this instead of this is because the way the sweetness, the big dose of sweetness, vanilla and coconut develops in warm weather is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, the first full bottle that I brought with me to a tropical warm weather place is Beau Paradise Garden. But like I said, both work, and if you want a bigger dose of sweetness, vanilla and coconut, then definitely the OG. However, I do feel Paradise Garden is the one to go for if you want the biggest dose of freshness together with a sort of a signature coconut and vanilla combo. So the next fragrance that I brought with me is this thing right here, and I do feel this is extremely underrated. The whole line is extremely underrated, but a lot of my subscribers that end up trying some of these end up falling in love with them. Now, it took me some time to discover this line, and I believe I started with the Eau de Parfum. This is the Marine, and the Marine to me, basically the whole line has, to me at least, a unique kind of marine freshness, aquatic freshness. This, the Marine, keeps that aquatic freshness, but to my nose, this is the sort of the lightest and brightest version of them all. This is still intensely aquatic, but in a more light and airy and fresh way if you compare it to the others. So this basically has marine notes, ylang ylang, musk and sandalwood. So gorgeous and so unique, and like I always say whenever I talk about this line, I have no idea what Kenzo are putting into these, but these are extremely long lasting and the projection for freshies are really good. So this is going to end up being my fragrance of the day, and come on, this is gorgeously aquatic fresh, that unique aquatic freshness that I mostly actually come across in this line, together with the flora aspect of it, the ylang ylang, bringing the whole thing a really tropical kind of vibe, a tropical kind of freshness. And that's basically the reason why I brought this, because this has quite an intense tropical vibe to it. And that aquatic freshness is sort of balanced up by a really smooth and almost creamy dose of sandalwood, and the whole thing has a light kind of musk to it, and it's also a bit sort of salty. I do feel the whole line works for tropical or super warm weather. However, the ones I was going back and forth between was basically Kenzo Homme Marine and the Eau de Parfum Intense, but I wanted something super light, super bright and fresh on me instead of the more sort of fruity sweet EDT Intense. I had both friends and subscribers telling me that a bit of Kenzo Marine was in Paradise Garden, and it actually took me quite some time to pick up on the sort of similarities between these two. So I guess I would say this: there are parts, some similarities between the EDT Marine and Paradise Garden, but the reason why I brought them both is because to me both of these are intensely fresh in quite a unique way, and I do feel that they are different enough. Comparing them performance wise, I mean, Paradise Garden has solid performance, but EDT Marine is even better. So moving on to another one I feel is extremely underrated, but this is so good that I bought multiple bottles of it. We have Blood Orange, Yuzu, Neroli and Orange Blossom. So this, to my nose, is basically intensely citrusy fresh. You have an intense dose of Orange Blossom pushing through, and I absolutely love Orange Blossom in combination with freshness in fragrances. And the whole thing is a bit sweet, like a tiny bit of sweetness to it, and softly musky. The citrusy freshness here, the Blood Orange and the Yuzu, is, to my nose, absolutely fantastic. And the combination with the Orange Blossom makes this, to me, an absolute banger. And you can usually, nowadays at least, find big bottles of this quite cheap. So this is Le Mal Pride Edition 2021, which is basically pretty much the same version as the 2022, 2023 and 2024 versions of it. And basically all I can say is this: if you usually enjoy quite intensely citrusy fresh fragrances, and if you absolutely love Orange Blossom together with a bit of freshness, then this is definitely something I feel you should at least put your nose to. So here are 3 of the 5 freshies, full bottle freshies, that I brought with me on a tropical vacation. However, I also brought a bunch of small bottles that I'm gonna talk about together with the other full bottles that I brought in a separate video. But like 3 of the other ones in smaller bottles that I brought are Le Beau, the OG, the EDT. I absolutely love this juice. This is like tropical, sexy freshness. I also actually ended up bringing the OG aquatic, which has grown on me a lot lately. So yeah, those are some absolutely fantastic fresh men's fragrances that I think are absolutely perfect on warm summer days, or like a tropical vacation, or simply when it's super warm outside. More videos from the tropics coming up soon. Please drop a like on this video. Thank you, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you check out my other videos over there. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.